Good morning. This is one of my favorite books. It's called The Cookie Store Cat. I read this to my kids, and I read this every year at this time of year when the weather changes because it's just a really cozy book. So let's see if you feel the same way I do when you read this story. So this is the main character. The main character in this story happens to be a kitty cat. And these three bakers, they never tell you their names, but they too are the main characters. So they're in almost all the pages. All right. The setting is a cookie store, a bakery. And the time of day goes all day. So the setting is the where and the when. So the time of day is all the way from very early in the morning because bakers have to get up really early in the morning. And then it goes till late at night when they close down for the day. All right, let's see. There is a cookie store cat who spends his days in the most delicious way. He sleeps in a little gray bed at the back of the cookie store, and each morning around 6 a.m., the cookie bakers come to wake him and kiss him and tell him hello. They tell him he is sweeter than any cookie they have ever baked. They tell him he is prettier than marzipan. They brag that he is a gumdrop gem. One of the bakers found the cookie store cat many years ago. At 6 a.m., he was unlocking the door of his cookie store as usual when he heard a thin squeak behind him. He turned around and saw two big green eyes in the tiniest, skinniest, hungriest kitten's body. The old baker was a soft-hearted man, and he scooped the kitten up and carried him inside, where the bakers fed the kitten real cream and a bite of cookie dough. Lucky kitten. So boys and girls, good readers stop when they're reading and they ask themselves questions. Like the question I'm asking is, where did that little kitty come from? Why was he so skinny and hungry? What happened to his home? What will happen next? That day they bought a bag of cat food and a little gray bed and a white dish that said kitty on it, and they made the cat their own. And now, after so many years, the bakers cannot remember ever being without a cookie store cat. Do you see the kitty bowl? Kitty. After the bakers give him his morning kisses each day, the cookie store cat rises up and stretches and rubs against the baker's legs as they whip up their orange and maple and mocha frostings. He purrs. He is a good cat, and he never jumps up on the baker's table. Now, the author doesn't say this cat is happy, but the author gives hints, and one of the hints was right here. Did you see it? He purrs. When a cat's happy, they purr, right? So you know this cat is happy and likes living here. In a little while, he lets himself out through the wooden screen door painted with cherry drops and gingerbread men, and he walks along the street saying good morning to all the shopkeepers who come early to work. His favorite is the fish shop owner, of course, but he is also fond of the yarn lady and the model train man, and he very much enjoys the bookshop people. Do you guys see the words on the buildings? Fish, trains, see the pictures, yarn, books. After his morning hellos, the cookie store cat returns to the place he loves best of all. He lets himself in through the wooden screen door and jumps up to the sunny window to sleep beneath the chocolate chip cookie sign. The cookie store cat has many friends. Every Monday of every week, Father Eugene stops by for a cup of Irish coffee and 3 Scotch Chewies. He pets the cookie store cat and tells him all about the new baby in the parish, or the bingo game he called, or the old maple in the churchyard that needs pruning. The cookie store cat purrs. He is a good listener. After school every day, the children come. They carry the cookie store cat on their shoulders and they cradle him like a baby and pass him one to one, scratching the top of his head as they order up their caramel clusters and ginger creams, their bachelor buttons and frosty fruit squares. The children sit outside the store with bags of cookies and boxes of milk, and the cookie store cat rubs his nose with theirs and bats at their pencils and licks drops of milk from their fingers. Christmas is the most wonderful time of all. The bakers wear aprons decorated with candy canes, and they fill their sleeves with Jingle Bell puffs, snowballs, and chocolate Christmas bonbons. They give away free Santa Claus faces to every child. The cookie store cat wears a big red bow every day in December, and the bell on it makes him jingle when he walks. He is so beautiful and jingles so nicely that he is the talk of the town. What does that mean, talk of the town? Does that mean everyone in town is talking about you because you're so wonderful and beautiful and jingly? I think so. On Christmas Day, when the store is closed, the old baker, the one who found him, comes to have turkey dinner with him. Winter passes and spring and summer and fall, and the cookie store cat knows just where he belongs. At the end of each day, he knows that one of the bakers will fill a big bag of cookies to take to the children's home, and another will sweep up all of the crumbs from the floor, and another will wash the fingerprints from the cherry drops on the wooden screen door. He knows that the old baker, the one who found him, will lift up his favorite cat and kiss him and tell him he is sweeter than a frosted cream, prettier than a cinnamon sugar plum. The baker will put real cream in the white kitty bowl and will carry the cookie store cat to his little gray bed. Then the old baker and the other bakers will go home, shutting softly the door behind them. And the cookie store cat will sleep in sweet dreaming all night long. And then, of course, in the morning, the bakers will be back. And then look at this, boys and girls. These are all the recipes that the bakers make. I don't know which one's my favorite. I love all cookies. Do you guys like all cookies? Have you ever been to a bakery? I hope you liked that story.